So, members, those of us who have not yet paid their dues, please do so now. Those who have paid their dues, many thanks. At least we have a start. President Newton, that is just a little snippet from Speaker's Corner.
Thank you, Secretary William. And I just want to strengthen what Secretary William has just said. Remember, if the dues is one of the main source of income for the club, and if we don't get the dues, our obligations to KI, our obligations to the SLPs, our obligation to the children who we serve, our obligation to pay. I saw that invoice you got yesterday, DLG Willie, for 60-something thousand for the DCM. I mean, we have to honor all of these. So please, if there's anyone online, and I'm not talking just now to the members of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. Once you're a Kiwanian, your club depends on your dues in a big way in order to carry out the programs that they plan. So I'm asking you, just remember why you joined it in the first place. And remember, you don't have to find all of the dues at one go. If you were to split up that dues within over a 3-month period, or if you have to go that far, you'll be surprised that it gets paid painlessly. But it is kind of rough when the club secretary or the treasurer 6 months down the line have to still be employing members to pay their dues. All right. Tonight, being our business meeting, we are going to get down to the main event, which is to highlight how we have been progressing and somewhat how we plan to go forward. Now, tonight's meeting is going to be of a slightly different format, because normally you would have the president-elect and the vice president doing most of the presentation. But for us, it just so happened that our persons who would normally be doing that are currently mainly off the island. So what we'll be doing tonight is that the directors and the chairmen of the different committees will be the ones who will be doing the presentation. And so tonight we are going to start with the committee reports from club meetings. So that is going to be either Director Arsenio or Chairman Stuart.
Arsenio is gonna do it.
Okay, thank you. The floor is yours, Director Arsenio.
All right, the club meetings report. In the month of October, the club had 4 online meetings. Overall, attendance for members for the month was up 22%, as several of our meetings attracted good audiences. Guest attendance for the month was up by 229%. The meeting with Dr. Samaj attracted the largest turnout of both guests and members, and had a total attendance of 155. Our Key Club Week program also attracted over 100 persons for a total of 124. Next was the meeting with Dave Cameron that attracted an audience of 91. And finally, the quiz had an audience of 59. The turnout for this meeting went out quite late, and that most likely contributed to the low turnout. The chairman is still on the lookout to recruit more members for the committee. We need someone specifically who can take on the role of posting our projects on social media, as the chairman would like to share this activity. The open appeal has not worked, so the chair is planning to approach individuals and ask them if they would serve. The chair would like to thank DP Chris, who has taken on the presentation of the thought for the week, and will be doing so until the end of December. The chair has also been doing teaser ads for the charity ball and now has a final ball flyer in circulation. He made a change after circulating an earlier version and asks that persons use the version which has a title, The Charity Event of the Christmas Season. We are still hoping to get some exposure on CVM at Sunrise, but it is still not yet confirmed. That's it for club meetings.
Thank you, David.
Sorry, Arsenio, you haven't read the reports. on the meetings. That was the last part. The part that goes through the
Each of the
actual meetings, and then the proposals for the following month. That's the main part of the report.
Okay. So for the review for the month for the meetings, for the Key Club Week, that week we had Key Club Week, and we had a role model meeting for Key Clubbers. A special program was planned and featured Key Club Jamaica District Governor Abigail Nemhard, bringing greetings, and the Caribbean CKI District Governor Wendy Ann Ivy as our guest speaker. There was also entertainment in the form of song and poetry. Special thanks to DLG Willie, who was instrumental in planning this program. For next meeting, we had Dr. Lichim Semaj, who had just written the book, The Best Is Yet to Come, Thriving in Retirement, and he provided many insights into how best to prepare for retirement. He stressed the importance of staying healthy and drew our attention to the 4 horsemen of retirement, which are loneliness, ill health, poverty, and addiction. These were issues we would need to defend against. He said that exercise was the most powerful longevity drug, as some amount of weight lifting was necessary for rebuilding your muscle mass. His book is available on Amazon.com and at Brand's Bookstore in Jamaica. For next meeting, we had trivia night. We had 45 questions. There was a tie for first place. President Josh from the Kiwanis Club of Carlton, Alexandria, and First VP Yolanda Morris from the Kiwanis Club of Montego Bay were the joint winners. And third place went to Chairman Martino from the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. This time, the Kiwanis Club of Kingston sponsored cash prizes totaling $10,000. $5,000 for first place, $3,000 for second place, and $2,000 for third place. And the winners were asked to identify a key club of their choice as a beneficiary of the prize. This concept was well received. It was a fun night for all, and thanks to Chairman Andy Junior Baptiste, who contributed some of the questions and kept score very efficiently. In the last meeting of the month, we had Dave Cameron, the former president of WICB, now Cricket West Indies, present on the economics of the world cricket and its impact on West Indies cricket. He gave a history of how West Indies cricket began in 1926, established by West Indies Sugar Growers Association, and got its test status in 1928. All the players were amateurs. All the financing was undertaken by the sugar plantations of the region. Because there was no commercialization at the time, you tended to have professionals who played cricket before they were professional cricketers playing cricket. He pointed out that pre-2000s, we were paid to tour the major countries like England, Australia, and India. However, in 2000, India changed dynamic and only covered some of our expenses and kept all the money from the TV rights. This became the standard approach with the big three, and they basically share the leadership and the management of the ICC. The video is available for more details. Interestingly, a comment by Chris Derry, who was in the audience, suggested that Jamaica should consider leaving Cricket West Indies and going on their own was picked up by Nationwide. They gave credit to the source of the meeting. So for proposed meetings, we have a business meeting, which is now. The topics for the next 2 meetings are to be determined. And on the 26th will be Boxing Day, and therefore will not be having a meeting. The option to have a joint meeting on the Monday would not work either, as that would be Christmas Day. Okay, and that's it for club meetings.
Thank you, Director Arsenio. As usual, club meeting report is very informative and very fulsome. One thing I heard you say that struck me about recruiting someone for posting on social media. And for those members of the club who are online, I'm beseeching you, somebody please step up. Because you see, it's great when we are doing things, but we also need to be seen to be doing things. And it's not seen to be doing things so that we can get accolades. When the club is seen to be doing things, when it comes around to times like when we are, for example, our Grand Christmas Charity Ball or any play, or when we have our Barbie Fry, if people see us doing things, then it's easier for us to approach them at that time. But if the only time they are hearing about your club is when you approach them to buy a ticket, then it causes them to think whether or not they want to part with their money, whether or not this is a good project to support. So I'm asking someone, please step up. As you heard, they're seeking somebody. Club meetings is seeking someone to do posting on social media. It would be great if they get a volunteer. All right. The next committee we have up is Community Service and HSV. Now, I have spoken to Director Errol, who is unable to make it. But the only contribution he had, the only thing that I can speak of in this meeting is that we continue our monthly feeding of the persons at the Marie Atkins shelter in downtown Kingston. I think our average, the average number that we feed nowadays, I can be corrected. It had ballooned at one stage to probably 170, 180, but I understand that there's a little ease now that the Desmond McKenzie Center has opened this. Feed roughly 150 people at the Marie Atkins Center.
Yeah.
All right. Anything to add to that?
Yes, I just want to mention two things. Human Spiritual Values Committee and Community Service Committee are normally very busy during the month of December. We need to discuss with the chairman and the director the
You're muted.
You went off just now.
You're muted.
Sorry, President.
Yes.
I was taking a call from Director Oreen, who has 2 packages for our Christmas ball outside.
Okay.
Speaking of the Human Spiritual Values Committee and Community Services, this is a busy month. We normally have Christmas trees. I'm not sure how far we have gone insofar as planning our 4 Christmas trees, as well as on Christmas Day, we have Christmas caroling at the Oldham Home and the Salvation Army. In addition, I think you should just mention the feeding program being arranged by the account supervisor, Tropical Metro Products for Riverton City, where they're having a treat where the 11 doctors are planned to be there, and we are going to be provided some financial assistance, and hopefully we have a good turnout of members just passing through, even to spend an hour or so. Thank you.
Okay, and read that treat that DLG Willie just spoke about. It's actually this Saturday. It's actually this Saturday at Tropical Metal Products out by Riverton City. I know so far we have a delegation of about 4 or 5 of us who will be there. And we are going to be there also. So any member online now who would like to join us there, as I say, it's Tropical Metal Products this Saturday. I think they're starting about 9 o'clock. We plan to be there at about 10, 11 o'clock. All right. We're moving now on to fundraising, something that is is the heart of everything that we do, because we can do nothing without the funds. And Director DP Dalma will take us through that. DP Dalma, I see you online, but I think you're still muted.
As our late Prime Minister would say, it takes cash to care. So we need to.
And these days it takes even more cash to care
because people's
expectation have risen, quite above.
That much more, yeah.
All right, I think DP Dalma may have stepped away from his instrument for a second, so we'll get back to him. Let me just touch membership growth.
I hear now, President Newton.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. Fundraising, DP Dalma.
All right, thank you, President Newton. Fellow Kiwanians, the report of the fundraising committee. The fundraising committee has been meeting every week since the start of, since October. And we are working diligently to put on the Grand Christmas Charity Ball. The ball will be on the 15th of December under the patronage of the Governor General, and it will be at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Just for your information, there will be live music by Fab Five. We have cabaret. I think is it Jem Miles, Willie? And all indications are that we will have a grand time at the ball. The ticket sales, not as vibrant as we would like it to be. And in particular, the number of Kiwanians who are participating is very disappointing. We have less than 20 Kiwanians that are actually involved in trying to sell tickets. And several Kiwanians, if every Kiwanian bought one ticket, then we would have filled the room that we are reserving. So far, we have approximately 141 confirmed tickets sold, and we really would like to pump that number up to about 200. Now, those Kiwanians here who have not yet bought a ticket, you can get in touch with DLG Easton, DLG Willie, or you could contact me. We would love to have your participation in helping us to really fill up that hall. If you are not able to buy tickets or to sell tickets, you may also still participate by placing, all those persons in business, you should be placing at least one ad in the program. And the cost of ads run from $15,000 for a black and white quarter page up to $30,000 for a full page color. The cover's already gone, so I won't mention those. But we are really asking persons to come out and support us. This is one of our major fundraising activities. And what makes this year even more special, this is the 60th anniversary of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. So this is our 60th anniversary ball, which really should be an event that every member of the club should want to participate in. And I'm really asking members to make a special effort. The cost of a ticket is $17,500, which means that most persons coming to the function, I assume you'd be bringing your better half, and you're talking about $35,000, which is not an exorbitant figure to take out that person who's going to have a real great time for an evening. It's a black tie event, so you're expected to be in your tux and in your best behavior, coming out to have a wonderful time. So please, fellow Kiwanians, we really need your support to make this event the success it should be. The other event we are having shortly, and this one is in January, and I don't know how the handful of people are going to manage it, but when it's about the 10th of January, DLG?
Yes, it's the 10th.
The 10th, right. So it's a play, and we are fortunate to be very early in line for this play. DLG really could give us some more particulars as to exactly what it's about and what we are trying to do in order to make this a success. So I'll ask DLG Willie to give me a help. DLG?
Are you hearing DLG, Willie?
All right. Well, basically what we are trying
you can hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just to reinforce what you're saying, Director Dalma, we will be hosting Basil Dawkins' new play, Once Upon a Watch Night, on Wednesday, October 10th at the Little Theater. It starts at 8:30, and the cost is $3,000. We took 100 tickets, but Barbican, Kiwanis Club of Barbican, through their president, has asked me if they could partner with us, so I gave them 30 tickets at the Visual Council meeting on Sunday. So between us, we have to sell 100 tickets, which I think if we get the cooperation of the clubs and the cooperation of our members, notwithstanding the fact that we have had our ball, we will be able to have a productive night. He has a special night planned for us on that evening. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, DLG Willie. And President Newton, that's the report of the fundraising committee.
Thank you. Thank you, DP Dalma. And just to add, well, I don't want to call it fun facts to what was said, but one of the things that I learned recently is that the reason that the Grand Charity Ball was moved to the Pegasus some time ago is because the place that it used to, the hotel that it used to be held at, their ballroom could only hold 300. And they had to be squeezing in people because they were at one stage, they were selling more than 300. There was more than
400.
Sorry?
More than 400 tickets.
More than 400 persons attending the ball. So they had to change the venue to the Jamaica Pegasus. So, and to tell you, I've never heard anybody say they have attended that Grand Charity Ball and they didn't enjoy themselves or they want the money back. And actually, each time you leave people there dancing. So it's a real nice event. It's nice, it's clean. You're getting live music, you're getting live performance. You know, I would encourage.
Great food.
Oh, great food. Great food, great drink. If you want, you can carry a designated driver. And it's really just a great place to be. All right. Membership growth and retention. I see Director Warren I see Director Warren online. Director Warren, would you like to take that for us?
Let me assist Director Warren just briefly. There's not much to speak to. Just to let you know that we started the year with 103 members. We've added one. So at end of November, we had 104 members. Currently, we have one new prospect to be interviewed, Emile Clark, Justice of the Peace. He introduced himself early on. Welcome, Emile. Insofar as any additional information, just to let you know that we are working currently on the membership report, where the division requested each club to present or produce a membership report in terms of how they were going to engage, retain, and attract new members. That's all for membership growth.
Yeah.
President Newton.
Okay, thank you, DLG Willie. All right, and that's self-explanatory. So we move on to interclub and fellowship. And I believe I don't see Director Orion online, so I think that will be handled by Chairman DLG Willie.
I was surprised to have Director Orion beside me. So he's going to do the report.
Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing?
You know, Director Orion, I haven't seen you so long that even when you were walking behind DLG Willie, I didn't recognize you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Good night, everyone, again. Intercovenant Fellowship. All right, so no virtual committee meeting was held during the month of November. During this month, interclubbing committee completed a total of 21 interclubbing, including an overseas visit to Toronto, KIWANIS Club of Toronto Caribbean, and a visit to Montego Bay and Cornwall Action Club in Division 23 West, involving about 76 members for the 2 months, October to November of 2023, a total of 61 interclubs have been completed. Top 10 interclubbers for the month. Just to give you a quick rundown, Secretary DLG Willie, PD Easton, LDA Desmond, Kiwanian Christopher, Kiwanian Andy, Chairman DP Stewart, Kiwanian Alien, President Newton, DP Richard, and Kiwanian Christopher. And we're the leading amount of interclubbing would have to go to Secretary DLG Willie and PD Easton with 16 and 12 successively. I'd just like to wish, basically express my appreciation to all the Kiwanians who have assisted in the committee over the past couple of months, as well as the SLPs who have joined us on the interclubbing during the month. All right, guys, that's my report for the evening.
Thank you, Director Orion. And Director Orion, I think I may have to thank the Prime Minister for placing a state of emergency in Clarendon so we could see you.
Yes, I was meant off a little earlier today.
We may have to ask him to do it more often. Thank you, sir.
Because it's a good thing you joined us.
And now that I know that yes. All right.
President Newton.
You know what? Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yes, DLG.
Just to add that Director Orion.
I'm hearing you, DLG, Willie.
Director Orion.
Yes, I am. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Just to add that Director Orion.
Okay.
Director Orion brought in 2 baskets of goodies, which were using as spot prizes for the Christmas ball from Grace Foods.
That's why I said DLG Willie that once I knew it was him, and I saw what he was passing behind you with, I knew exactly what it is that he was dropping off. Right. Prospect Emil, I saw your hand up. You wanted to say something?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. All right, good. All right. So let's go to one of those big committees now, SLP. And I believe Director Andrew Burton is online to guide that process. Good evening.
Yes, giving an update from service leadership programs. I think I heard earlier in the meeting that fundraising is the reason we do what we do. Was that it?
Fundraising allow us to do what we do.
They allow us, right. Is the highlight that our service leadership programs are the reason, that we do what we do.
Exactly.
Well, of course, all committees, we work together to our common mission. So from the Builders Club via Chairman Zuri, they have a meeting ahead. The subcommittee did not get to meet in the last month, but they are planning a meeting to discuss plans for Terrific Kids and the oratorical contest, a competition to be launched next year, early next year, hopefully, early 2024. Via Chairman Radcliffe regarding the KIWANIS, the key clubs, for our 6 sponsored clubs there. Oh, and also for Builders Clubs, I think our Builders Club dues are fully paid. Same situation for the key clubs. For 6 sponsored clubs, the dues are in. We had some highlight moments in November, particularly featuring Key Club Week activities, which included our model meeting, that included many of our SLP members and the Governor Abigail, as was mentioned in the club meeting report. We also saw the district Key Club Jamaica District Church service on November 5 at Holy Trinity Cathedral, where some of our members were there to support. The Division 1 of Key Club had their executive training meeting also in this month, and a divisional council meeting in November 24. We were able to extend financial assistance to 2 of our clubs, one to meet their goals regarding dues payment, one towards a meeting surrounding AIDS awareness, and one ahead, which we started the approval process at our board meeting yesterday, towards a Christmas treat that's ahead in December. And an update from Circle K. Well, I share an appeal. If there is anyone in the meeting who is a Circle K alumnus or who has a passion to serve in terms of assisting with being the chairperson for the Circle K, to oversee the Circle K club or one club, Michael, that position is open. And there's an update from Michael that the dues are paid and they continue to meet. I don't know if DLG Willie has any supplemental updates from Circle K or any of the 3 arenas, but that's the report from Service Leadership Program.
And any addition, DLG?
No, just to let you know, I spoke to Secretary of Michael Circle K up to this afternoon. We have had paid the divisional dues for the Caribbean District for 15 members. That's the charter strength. They are now in the process of collecting the international dues, which is $4 per member. I want to collect those within the next 10 days to send those off.
Okay.
That's about it. I think the report is well covered by Director Andrew.
Okay. Thanks for that, Director Andrew. Pretty good report. It has brought us up to date. Okay. The next, well, we are going to look at some other committee reports now, and the one, well, the next one we'd probably want to look at is there anything on major projects? And I know our main major project had we haven't done much in recent times, and I know, and I don't think we're going to be doing anything soon. But IPP Junior, anything on the Secretariat?
Yeah, President Newton, as I've said before, that there's not much development so far.
Right.
On the Secretariat.
Right.
Right. But I plan to meet with our team as soon as possible. And I promise that we'll have some kind of report at our next business meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. The next report we'd like to look at is...
Excuse me, President Newton.
Go ahead, DP.
Right. I would love to ask a question.
Yes.
Is there a problem that's holding up progress on the Secretariat? Because for a very long time now, we are getting that identical report.
All right. The last thing I heard was that Chairman Sadiki had done the bill of material, I think, and had presented to us what he believed it would cost. It would cost to get the work done. I don't know. If somebody can correct me. I think I think he spoke in the region of 5 million or so at commercial rate.
Right.
What was said at the time was that we have the approval for the extension. We don't know roughly what it's going to cost, but was probably, even though the extension is needed, now was probably not the ideal time to go and try and spend that money. And I think we even discussed whether or not, since the club doesn't have that money lying around, whether we should take out a loan or whatever. And I think what was said was that now would probably not be the best time, since we have not gotten back full to face where the place would be fully utilized. So even though that major project is still in the works, it has slowed somewhat because of those imperatives. I don't know if you can back me up on that or correct me, IPP Junior.
Yes, you are to an extent right. Chairman Sadiki, he had done the bills of quantities and he had an estimate, which was somewhere in the region of $5 million, I think. Now, we are to look to, and there was some opinion that it might not be the very ideal time at this time, as you have said, to do it, because we are not back into the face-to-face yet. But we certainly have to prepare for it. So we are going to a meeting to see how soon we'd like to go on with it and how we are going to be getting the funding. So I think there's where we are, how we plan to fund it.
All right. My personal feeling, DP Dalma, is that groundbreaking for this particular project is probably going to be during P. Stevens' presidency. I mean, just looking ahead, I kind of suspect that groundbreaking is probably going to be sometime during P. Stevens' presidency. So I guess we need to discuss and decide whether we take that off the recurring list for now and bring it back at that time when we are ready.
President Newton, I'm uncomfortable with what is going on here.
Yes.
Because at one time, no progress was being made and could be made until we got the QS report.
Right.
We have now gotten the QS report, and I expect us to move forward. And I'm hearing all sorts of excuses why we cannot. If I remember well, the original strategy would be that having secured the QS report, we would have in our hands what is physically needed, as well as the cost, and then we would have gone out to corporate Jamaica to raise funding to finance that building using a technique similar to what we did originally to put down that building. The report given by immediate past president is somewhat different from what you explained, because he just said nothing was happening. Then you has proceed to say that we are having second thoughts. Now, if we are having second thoughts, I would have expected him to tell us that they're having second thoughts and what it is that is driving the second thoughts. And if we are having second thoughts, that sort of decision has to be made by the membership. And I'm not aware of any such decision being put to the membership about a project which we had for many years been earmarking as our major project. And by extension, President Newton, if that project is put on hold, what is your major project?
All right. Well, let's start with the first one first. I think what we would probably need to do, well, not probably need to do, I think what we definitely need to do, DP Dalma, in order to bring some clarity and some congruence to this, I think we probably should put this extension, the question of this extension as an agenda item for the next board meeting, so that we can take a decision. I know when IPP Junior said about second thoughts, I think what he meant, I have heard one influential DP has put on record that he does not believe we should go ahead with the extension of the secretariat.
That's a very powerful person.
But well, I was
but
just
his one opinion makes us want to put this thing on ice.
No, that's why I was going to say that, to my knowledge,
President Newton mentioned that. Because if that is going to be the decision, it has to be put to the members and we decide.
Okay, that's why I say I think it should be. That's why I said that I was just building up to say that's the only dissent I've heard. So I think rather than us baffling with it, we should put it as an agenda item for the next board meeting, discuss it at the next board meeting, and then take it to the general membership if needs be. But you're right. You're right. So rather than we giving piecemeal opinions, I would say we'll put it as an agenda item for the next board meeting, discuss it at that level, decide which way to go, and if we have to take it to the general membership, take it to the general membership. I think it has gone too far along to shelve, because I know even getting the permit took, as from what I heard, several years.
Yes.
So it's not it's not the sort of project that you can just say, oh well, let's scrap it, because a whole lot of manpower and expertise has gone into it.
Spent on it. Yes, President, we're not saying that we want to scrap anything. I'm just saying that let us meet again. Let us meet on it. The people are in it, and then we'll bring it to the meeting at that time. But let us meet on it first.
All right. So, Secretary Willie, can we put it as an agenda item for the next board meeting?
And we report on it where we are and where.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for bringing that up, DP Dalma, because as you have said, we have been kicking it around for a while, and we need to be decisive which way we are going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. the next thing the next report we'd want to look at, which is a final report, is the treasurer's report. Now, Delgy, I don't know if he has given, I tried to get in touch with him. I suspect that he may have touched base with you because he's tied up. Do you have a treasurer's report?
No, he hasn't not prepared the treasury report. But what I did, I went to the bank this morning and got the balances on the account so I could, for the benefit of the members present, advise them. So the charity or the service account that currently has a balance of 1.5, just under 1.6 million. That has been boosted from the collections from ticket collections and ad collections that have been paid. But on the other hand, our admin account only has $228,495 in it. So those are the two balances that we have. In terms of the preparing the accounts for presentation to the auditor, I spoke to over this morning. I didn't get a chance to speak to Director Dalma. He's going to spend some time over the Christmas season. He's giving himself 2 days to prepare all the documents to turn over to VP Warwick Bogle by the end of the month. So I'll be following him up. I'll be on top of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Because
President Newton.
Go ahead, VP.
I don't think you appreciate the problem we are in.
In terms of?
We have until, I would say, about the 19th to come up with $680,000 for the admin account. We had mentioned earlier the need for members to pay their dues, but we need to let people understand the real financial position of the admin fund. With $208,000 in the bank and $907,000 needed, we are $1,000 short of $680,000 that we must bring in. And I'm hoping that we don't have to go down the road of asking persons to dip into their pocket to pay the dues so that the club can be distinguished.
And thank you for that enlightenment, DP Dalma. And with that, I am again appealing to persons, because as Secretary Willie just said, of a club with 104 purses, we have collected from what, 25%?
About.
Right? We have collected from 25%, and that amount that is owing is threatening the prestige and stability of the club. So what I'm going to ask is, if there's any member of the club that is online right now, please make sure one of your priorities within this week is to pay your dues. If you know of another member of the club who has not paid their dues, then you should feel you should feel obligated to point out to them that the club needs this money. The club cannot carry on without the dues. And it is very unfair if we have to ask a member of the club basically to make an interest-free loan to the club so that we can take care of our business while we collect from purses. The dues is not a whole lot of money. If you're having difficulties, we have always said, if you can part pay, then part pay. But don't just sit around and ignore it. And we're imploring members who are online now, please, we need the dues. We will be calling, I know I personally will start calling purses coming next week, because guess what? we cannot sit by and allow the standards of the club to fall. We cannot. Right? And we all joined up. One of the things that we did, we knew upfront when we joined the club, is that there's an annual due. And, you know, it's not something that one day just presented itself to us and we're surprised. We know that the dues are due once per year, and we should have made arrangements for those. But if we haven't, I'm asking you, please just go ahead, because the stability of the club is dependent on you. Please, I don't know how else to put it.
I've been calling President Newton, and I will continue to call because I do understand the importance.
Thank you, IPP Junior. It's a pity all of our members couldn't be president for a week, because if all of our members were president for a week, then they would understand the imperative of collecting the dues, because you see the bills.
Yes.
You see the bills and you see the obligations. All right. Okay, so not having a treasurer's report, but having an update on our finances and seeing that we really need to step up. I'm just going to say we had some good reports tonight. However, I think the chairman and directors, I'm imploring you, please, we know once a month we have directors meet, we have a board meeting the first Monday of each month. And you know, every couple of months we will have a business meeting like this. It is our duty to make sure that things are happening in our committees. It is nice when we do a report and say, oh, we did this and that, and we have two things and say nothing else. But it would be even so much better if each month we have a full report of several things that we have done. And, you know, it is kind of disheartening when we get a report to say we haven't met for this month. Because if we haven't met, it means that we probably haven't done much. And remember, the time is short. There's a whole lot of kids out there that need our help. We joined up to help. So we don't have to commit 20 or 30 hours for the month. But, you know, please, just like you budget everything else, budget the time that you're going to spend on Kiwanis business. So that, you know, when we come to a board meeting or we come to a business meeting, it's almost like we are boasting about what we have achieved over the last month. All right. That said, I will bring in the Sergeant at Arms, Mr. Zuri.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, you know, I am a big fan of the church. I grew up in the church. So I'm always going to be sharing my church stories. So there is this pastor. So he had this old faithful member of his church. So, you know, he liked her dedication and her commitment, and he'd always test her to test her faith and things. So one Sunday he decided that he was going to test her to see how well she know the hymns and the songs. So he said he was going to play a game with her. He was going to give her a word, and then she would sing a song. So he realized that every word he came up with, she had a song for it. Then say, you know what? He's going to throw a curveball. I'm going to say, what she going to come up with when him go with this word? So the pastor decided, and he goes out. So your next word is sex. And she sings out loud, precious memories, oh, how they linger. So because it's the season of Advent and it's the season of giving, and the Salvation Army is out with their red kettles and everybody's in a spirit of giving, we're going to do a blanket charge of 500 per member.
Yeah.
Bringing in the Advent season. Have a good evening, gentlemen. And everyone.
Thank you, Sarge. And I hope you weren't throwing words at anybody.
No, not yet.
All right. and members online, we're recording who is here, and we will be collecting.
Yeah.
We will be collecting because the club does need the contributions that the Sarge extract from you. and it does go a long way towards the projects that we have.
On a serious note, though, Chris,
yes,
what strategy have we developed to collect these monies?
Okay.
I'd really like yeah.
One thing that we have thought about.
How can we collect? Because I would like to pay my fines.
One thing that we have thought about, IPP Junior,
yeah.
At one stage when you know we went into new territories when Zoom came on, because before that we would just take it directly from you.
Right.
Because it's online, we kind of took it for granted that persons would just go online and transfer the money into the club's account. In checking with DLG, Willie, very few of us actually do that. Even though that's the easiest way to do it. Just log on to your bank account and transfer the amount to the club's account.
No.
The other way that we have thought about is that since persons don't just do that, we have not yet enacted it, but one of the things we have thought about is actually appointing somebody who will actually go ahead and collect the dues. We'll call up people, keep the records, and call up persons and say, you have this amount for dues. Right? I mean, when you look at it, for example, IPP Junior, that when you go to DCM, that side will extract $1,000, $2,000 out one person's pocket.
Yeah.
Right? Charges is extracting $200 and $500 for our club. So we really should do it with a smile. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Notices and announcement, interclubbing opportunities. What do you have, Secretary William?
Thank you, President. Due to the time, I just quickly read some notices and announcements. This week, Thursday, the Christmas Ball Committee will be meeting at my house at 6 p.m. That's Thursday.
What?
On Saturday, December 9th, Constant Spring have their all-white party at Footprints Cafe on Belmont Road. That begins at 6:30. In fact, I have 10 tickets. Anybody interested in attending the all-white party, please let me know. First come, first serve, I can give you some tickets. Then on Friday, the event of the year, December 15th, annual Christmas charity ball. That's at 8 o'clock. And then just to remind you that in January, we'll be having the Basil Dawkins new play, Once Upon a Watch Night, and that's at 8:30. Insofar as interclubbing opportunities, I will circulate the schedule tomorrow of the upcoming or planned interclubs for the rest of this week and early next week. Those are the notice and announcements, President Newton. You may want to ask any visiting club if they have any announcements at this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Secretary William. And as Secretary William said, is there anyone online who would like to make any announcements? Please go ahead and do so. Open your microphone and do so. No one? Okay. Well, at this point, I will invite DP Chris to bring us the thought for the week. DP Chris? All right. Doesn't seem as if DP Chris is online, so I'll give us a thought for the week. And it says, being happy doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It just means you are able to see beyond the imperfections. Not too sure who said that. So being happy doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It just means you are able to see beyond the imperfections. And with that, it is now 8:30. Yeah, so it's a very good time for us to raise our glasses and raise a toast to Kiwanis International, Jamaica, land we love. This business meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston is now terminated. Thank you all for coming, all 27 of us who are still online. Thank you all for coming. It was a good meeting. Thank you, Mr. Emil Clark. I take it that this was your first of many meetings with the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. And they get more exciting than this. The business meeting is not where the excitements are. This is where we get down to the real nuts and bolts of trying to run a business, trying to run a club. But as you can see, all these people online, you're in the same movement as they are. Oh, Chris, I see you now.
Welcome in.
Yes, President. You know, I was looking at that agenda and it says you would leave me at 8:28. And I realized that I'm still before 8:28. But, you know, when the meeting is terminated, I will save my thoughts until for next meeting.
Okay, sir. I think I gave one that was on your behalf that did you justice. I know you're a man of high standards, so I had to find one that would live up to your standards, and I think that one did.
Thank you very much, President.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And my apologies, but I was caught up in another meeting. To get here for 8 o'clock.
We understand how it is. We understand how it is. You know, I too had to be. I had to be riding 2 meetings last night at the board meeting, so I understand how it is.
It's a distraction. You keep seeing. Otherwise, I go to money.
So, Mr. Emil,